Secretary, thank you for being here. What a difference an election makes, what a difference a Congress makes, what a difference having you here instead of asking thousands of questions and getting no answers. And I'll start with the first question that I left off with and I know that may be funny to my colleagues, but it's not funny to me because of the known and suspected terrorists, the KSTs that came into this country. And I'll basically lead off with the last question that I asked your predecessor, which was the policy of the Department of Homeland Security and this administration when it comes to KSTs. And talk to us about the successes that we've had and kind of where we stand, because they left us with a real mess with 40 plus people that were in this country. And, I'd like to hear what your department has done and tell us kind of the path forward.
Yeah, absolutely, Congressman. The previous administration let a lot of dangerous individuals into this country and get a foothold, and then not only just allowing them to perpetuate terrorist activities in our country, but also recruit new members and to build out their systems and to gain access to our infrastructure. So I'm very proud of the fact that President Trump has aggressively enforced the law. Let us use the tools that are afforded to us under the Department of Homeland Security to address these threats, bring them to justice and face consequences, and to get them out of our country. So he has removed over 250 known terrorists, suspected terrorists on the watch list, thousands and thousands of individuals that were affiliated with them, but also individuals that committed crimes that are members of MS-13, Tren de Aragua, but also cartels and their members and affiliates in this country. So overwhelmingly, the safety of our communities is in a much better spot than it was just 6 short months ago. And even the message that President Trump has been bold enough to send around the world. He specifically told me, Christy, if you're given this job, I want you to tell the world that America has new leadership, that we are enforcing our laws now, and that Americans get to be prioritized and their safety comes first. And if you want to break our laws and come to this country, don't even try it. And that has sent an overwhelming message to the world that they're adhering to. That's one of the reasons you see less encounters at the border, is because people are staying home in their home countries because now they know we follow our laws. The Mexican president and her team told me that they believe they've stopped over 600,000 people in Mexico before they even reached our border because they got the message they could no longer cross into the United States. So we don't even know the hundreds of thousands of people that simply were in the process and turned around because President Trump has been very vocal at sending the message to the world, don't come here if you want to break our laws and victimize our people.
Well, the deterrent value of the policy, just enforcing the laws, has certainly been noticeable. I represent a district that includes part of your air and marine operations that flies drones out of San Angelo, Texas, and flies into the Gulf of Mexico, but also along the border. One of the issues that we faced in the previous administration was this huge number of known gotaways. Talk to us about the coordination with the state and local level. I also represent a piece of Fort Cavazos, and we have military personnel who have a designated area along the border. How is that process working for deterrence, but also to ensure there are no gotaways like we had?
Well, there are known gotaways, and then there's probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that we don't necessarily know how many of them are in this country. That because we had Border Patrol and assets and Coast Guard and ICE agents diverted into processing paperwork and facilitating illegal entry into our country, they weren't doing their security operations. They weren't allowed to do their jobs. People have talked about me being out on the front lines with all of our components and agencies. I'll tell you why I'm there. The reason I'm walking alongside them is because I want to understand their jobs, where they don't have the equipment that they need, what authorizations and authorities they need to do their jobs. And overwhelmingly, they appreciate the fact that they finally have a secretary that shows up to walk alongside them, one that rides with them and doesn't ride over them and doesn't listen to them and has never been out in the field. They want me to be with them, and they're proud of the fact that I don't mind representing them and their agency to the rest of the world, saying I'm proud of the work that they do. We have a lot of gotaways. We also have some we don't even know that are in this country yet, and that's probably what keeps me up at night the most, is the fact that we don't really know the dangerous individuals that may be in this country that we have to get out before something happens that jeopardizes our national security.
Secretary, thank you for being here and for your service. Our country is safer having you at the helm. And Mr. Chairman, yield back.
Gentlemen.